Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another installment of HAC Tonight, this afternoon, this evening, we're going to be doing a little after work yoga and conversation, wind down Wednesday. We know everybody's at home quarantining, doing their thing, and we just want to bring a little bit of a mix to our programming to kind of alleviate some of the pressures and the stress that come along with what's going on in the world. Tonight we have a very special guest, uh, a brother Eric Mosley, who is the owner operator of Black Mat Yoga Incorporated. Eric, what's going on, family?
How's it going? How's it going?
It's going very well. It's going very well. How are you? How's everything?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm excited to lead this session with you all this evening or this afternoon, wherever you are streaming from.
hmm So we're excited, man. Just a few quick questions before we jump right into your demonstration or the class. How'd you get into yoga? How long have you been doing it?
That's a good question. I've been practicing yoga seriously probably for the last 5 or 6 years or so. My background is in education. I was a teacher and a dean of students at a high school and an elementary school. And I found that in my work, one, I needed something to help me kind of relax and decompress from the day. And then two, I started to realize that by using some mindfulness practices in my work, that I was able to really have the desired outcomes that I needed. Seeing like teachers and students and teachers and families kind of at their worst moments, right? When I'm having to have some really difficult conversations, when people are fed up or feel like they've been mistreated. Being able to kind of use your breath to kind of ground ourselves in the moment and de-escalate situations that were really heightened. I started to see lots of trends there. And after deciding I needed some more alignment in my life, I knew that being a yoga teacher was the next thing I wanted to do, particularly because some of the experiences that I had in yoga and wellness spaces, them being kind of overwhelmingly white, came with a lot of extra stuff that I felt like I had to overcome. So Black Mat Yoga is kind of like my baby, the thing that I, want to have for myself and for people of color specifically, but everybody so they can access their own kind of wellness and, yoga with their own selves.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And mindfulness practices, especially right now, is
Yeah.
extremely important.
Yeah.
Can I ask I know tonight's class is specifically vinyasa.
Yes.
What are the different variations of yoga? I've heard of tantric. I've heard of I've heard of vinyasa. But could you do a little bit of explanation about the different kinds of yoga, but specifically why you chose vinyasa for tonight?
Yeah. So vinyasa is, you'll hear me say vinyasa a lot throughout the practice. And vinyasa translates to, oh Lord, what does it translate to? Like carefully ordered moves, right? So in vinyasa practice, we will typically have one breath per movement, and you're really trying to marry your breath and the movements that you're doing. There are other types of yoga like hatha yoga, where you hold poses and hold them for like extended amounts of time to see, or multiple breaths, so you can see like what the impact of each pose is on the body. There's like restorative yoga that's more about finding like places and positions and poses where you can feel really comforted and supported using props. Vinyasa, when you go into a yoga studio, this is kind of like your typical yoga sequence or style, and it's characterized by the vinyasa sequence, which is the kind of downward facing dog, the chaturanga or that push-up position, the upward facing dog, and back to downward facing dog. And that's a cycle that you'll use to kind of rinse in between movements to kind of break up poses in that kind of typical like one breath per movement type practice.
Okay, thank you for that. Now that helps me to get a little better understanding of what's going on. And I don't want to keep it going for too long. So without further ado, Eric, you take it. handle, get ready, and then we'll just go right into the presentation.
For sure. So something that is really important to me when I start, I like to use personally, like ground myself in a text, or it can be like yogic text, it can be words from like ancestors, whatever the case. But I wanted to start us off today. This is a book called Gather. The author is Octavia Rahim. She's a yoga teacher out of Atlanta, Georgia. And she wrote this beautiful book that just has so many like gems in it. And I want to ground us tonight in this text. It starts with the mantra, and it says, when I put down what is not mine to carry, I'm free. So I'm going to read a little bit of it to you. My mama's pain is not mine to carry. My daddy's suffering does not belong to me. I don't have to make my grandmama's weariness my own to maintain a connection to her. I don't have to drink from the same cup of sorrow as my granddaddy to feel like we have something in common. When I put down what is not mine to carry, I am free. Free to face the very real, historic, and systemic oppression that created the suffering and pain for my people without the fear. Free to access the courage, power, love, and strength of my lineage and carry it forward in a way that is boundless. Free to command justice when and where I enter. Free to call in peace with each breath. Free to summon armies of protective guides to go before, behind, and surround me. Free to pour the medicine of joy, harmony, and abundance from the ladle of my heart into the bowl of my being. Free to drink deeply from the sweet nectar of my life. Free to be at home wherever I am. Free to walk a path of profound liberation with each step I take. Free to remember how to rise and finally get on with the business of rising up. Free to...
Sorry to steal your office.
Elisha, you got
sorry, I'm so sorry.
Free to stand and testify on behalf of myself and the millions who live within me that my life matters and that our lives matter. When I put down what is not mine to carry, I am free. So today, I want to ground us in this text and in this mantra. When I put down what is not mine to carry, I am free. So as we practice today, I want you to be thinking about what is it that you need to let go of? What is it that you need to put down? Something that you might have been holding on for too long, something that you might have held on that got you where you are now, but you don't need anymore, right? So we're going to move our bodies. We're going to have this kind of moving meditation, but that's what we're going to ground ourselves in today. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So we can press play. I've got a playlist for you that has been organized and made by DJ J Vibrations out of Brooklyn. And we're going to get started. So find yourself on your mat. We're starting in child's pose. So bring your knees either directly underneath you or bring them as wide as your mat. Bring your big toes together to touch and then press your hips back towards your heels. And then stretch your hands in front of you towards the top of your mat. And take a few moments to just come into your breath in this child pose. This is where we'll start, and this pose is always available to you throughout our practice. So with your next inhale, take a big breath in through the nose, and we're going to let that breath go out of the mouth. We'll take 2 more breaths like that. In through your nose. Exhale, let it go from the mouth. 1 more time, in through the nose. Exhale, let it go from the mouth. And then we'll close the lips and begin to just breathe in and out of the nose. Let your forehead rest on the mat and maybe rock your head side to side here, kind of massaging the front. And with the next breath you take, feel your spine lengthen as you stretch your fingertips more towards the top of your mat. And as you exhale, press your hips back towards your heels a little bit more and feel yourself taking up space on your mat. And know that we do this gesture, this taking up space on our mat at the symbol, so that we can leave our mats to feel empowered and emboldened to take up space. In real life, with children, So we're pulling at our torso. Again, child's pose is always here for you. Practice. You gotta take a break. Stand, connect with your breath. On your next inhale, you're going to pull forward, coming onto your hands and your knees. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And as you shift forward, we're going to let our hips sink. Keep the arms straight and bring the toes up. Letting your hips sink almost like an upward facing dog variation. As you exhale, go ahead, press the hips back, find that child's pose once again. We're going to cycle through this a couple more times. Inhale, pull forward, let the feet rise, let the hips sink, shine your heart forward. Exhale, press back, child's pose. 2 more times on your own breath. Inhale forward, sink the hips, shine the heart, feet lift. Exhale, child's pose. Last time, inhale, pull forward. This time, we're going to tuck the toes underneath us and come into our tabletop pose. Bring your knees directly underneath your hips, and your hands will come underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and relax the feet down. So the top of the feet are going to press into the mat now. And we're going to start to warm the spine with a few cat and cow poses. So on your next inhale, your tailbone's going to go up. Your belly will drop towards the mat. Heart shines forward. Find your cow. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round through your spine, press the mat away from you, and bring your chin towards your chest, find your cow. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Pause here at the top of your cat pose. Keep the arms straight and press the mat away. Tuck the tailbone under, and we're going to start to activate the core here. So on your next exhale, see if you can bring your belly button back towards your spine. Really empty out of that breath. Find one more cat pose, cow pose. And then your cat pose. Take the next couple of breaths to just move organically. So whatever your body wants to do, go ahead and do heavy waves side to side. Maybe press back to child's pose once more. But take a few breaths just to move however you like to move today. And on your next exhale, we're going to bring our hips back towards the heels. We're going to come up to a seat. Bring your hands together in front of you. Interlace your fingers. We're going to roll through your wrists. So we did lots of poses there with our wrists kind of stretched. So we're going to do a nice wrist stretch. This is good, especially if you are typing all day or texting or doing a lot of work at the computer. Kind of stretch the wrist out. Go ahead and shake them out also. And then we're going to inhale the hands up above our head. As you exhale, you're going to bring the right hand behind you. Your left hand's going to come forward, either in front of you or to your right knee. Take a nice inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, we're going to twist towards the right a little bit more. Inhale, find length. And as you exhale, continue to twist, but try to twist from your core versus pulling on your shoulders. Take one more breath here. See if you have any more twists. And then we're going to inhale, hands come up overhead. We're going to take that twist on the left side. Exhale, right hand comes down in front or to your left knee. Left hand goes behind. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, find the twist towards the left. Again, finding length on the inhale, twisting from the core on the exhale. Be gentle with yourself here. And then inhale, hands come up overhead. As you exhale, bring the hands back in front of you. Find that tabletop pose once again. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. We're going to extend the left leg long. And really press through your left heel here and start to feel the back of your leg stretch. And as we inhale, we'll roll over the top of the foot, pressing that into the mat, feeling the thighs start to activate. Go ahead, exhale, press it back, stretch through the heel, really nice. And then inhale, roll forward once more over the top of the foot. Go ahead, exhale and press back. Nice. And now we're going to drop this left heel down onto the mat and feel your left hip stack on top of the right. You can keep your right foot exactly where it is, Or you can spin your right foot behind you and it'll act like a kickstand to help support your balance. We'll inhale, sending the left hand up towards the ceiling, stretching these left fingertips long towards the top. Stacking that left hip on top of the right. And if your right foot is behind you, you can use that again to help support your balance. If your right foot is underneath you, then use your core to activate to support you and um, activate your core to support your balance. There we go. One more breath. Stretch those left fingertips up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, point your hands towards the top of your mat and feel this good stretch in the whole left side of your body. Take another breath in. Y'all got it. And then exhale, left hand's gonna come down onto the mat. Come onto your left toes here. Inhale the left foot up. We're gonna hover. And as you exhale, you're gonna tap that left knee to your left elbow. Good. Inhale and lengthen out. Exhale, tap to your left elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. And then bring the left knee back down underneath. We'll take one cat and cow to rinse both sides out. So inhale and drop your belly, tailbone to the heart, shine forward. Exhale, round through your spine, tuck the tailbone and chest under. Inhale, find your neutral spine. Good work. Send that right leg back. Tuck those toes and press through your right heel, stretching through your calf. Inhale and roll over the top of your foot. Press the top of your foot into the mat. And then exhale, press back. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, press back. Drop the right heel down onto the mat, stacking the right hip on top of the left. Inhale, right hand is going to go up towards the ceiling. And again, you can choose whether you keep this left leg directly underneath you or whether you spin it behind you to use it like a support here. Both options are perfect. Nobody gets a gold star at the end, so you need to put that foot back there, put that foot back there. Keep stretching your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then go ahead, exhale, extend your right hand towards the top of the mat. Feel the stretch on your right side. One more breath here. And then exhale, go ahead, bring your right hand down onto the mat. Come onto the right toes and then hover that right foot up. On your next exhale, tap your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, tap, last time. Inhale, lengthen. This time, right knee comes down onto the mat. We're gonna press back, find that child's pose. This time, make it wider. So bring your knees as wide as your mat, press your hips back, stretch your fingers forward, and bring the forehead down onto the mat. Reconnect with your breath here. Grounding ourselves in those words once again. When I let go of what is not mine to carry, I am free. So as we practice today, again, find something that you can let go of in our time that we're sharing. Inhale, find your tabletop pose. You can bring your knees back underneath you. And on your next inhale, we're gonna lift and hover our knees about 5 inches off of the mat. Keep pressing your arm or the mat away from you, keeping your arms straight. Take another breath, activate your core here, bring that belly button back to meet the spine. You got it. And on your next breath, go ahead, exhale, send your hips up and back. We're coming into our first downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Shavasana. You can bend your knees as well. And then tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Press your heart back towards your thighs and let your head drop. And you can begin to alternate lifting, relaxing, stretching your legs, working those hamstrings, quads. And it will start to invite the heels down towards the mat. And if they don't touch the mat, that's perfect. You can keep bending the knees and pressing your heart back. The magic in this pose is making the upper body really long. So you want to press your heart back towards your thighs, finding that length from your heel all the way to your tail. Take another breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale and rise to your tippy toes. Exhale, walk your feet up towards your hands. Find your forward fold. You can bend your knees well here. Let your belly rest on your thighs. And let the head drop. We're going to reach for opposite elbows and come into ragdoll pose. You can sway side to side here. Really nice. Go ahead and let the lower back go. So let's look into this here. On your next exhale, let the hands drop down towards your neck. We'll inhale and find a halfway lift. So we'll start to straighten the legs and bring your palms either to your shins or to your thighs, whatever feels good for you and your body today. But we want to keep our backs kind of flat in this halfway position. We're pressing our hips back and we're pressing our hands into our legs and our legs back into our hands. Move the shoulders away from the ears and look down so that your neck is nice and long. So this little halfway lift should feel really active. Take another breath in. Exhale and forward fold over the leg. Inhale and rise all the way up. You're going to bring your hands up over your head, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, we're going to forward fold. Inhale, find that halfway lift again. Active as it was before. Hands to your shins, or your knees to your upper thigh. And then exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands down onto your mat, bend your knees and step both back. We're coming into our high plank pose. So we're going to do our first vinyasa today. So inhale and pull your shoulders over your wrists like this high push-up. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale, we're going to lower down. So bring the knees down first, and we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Keep your elbows tucked tight by your ribs. Press the tops of your feet into the mat, and then inhale, lift your chest about 5 inches off of the mat, coming to baby cobra. On your next exhale, we're going to press back, hands and knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips, send them up and back to your downward facing dog. So that is our first vinyasa sequence. I'll show you a couple more options there, but if that one feels good for you, you can rock with that. We'll take 2 cleansing breaths, in through the nose and then out of the mouth. Letting something go. Inhale and rise to your toes. We're going to do that sequence once more. Exhale, bend your knees and travel to the top of your mat. However you get there is the perfect way. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up to stand, hands over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and forward fold. Plant your hands down on the mat. Bend your knees. Step back. High plank. You can take that first variation or you can follow this other one. Take a breath in, straight arms. Exhale, knees come down. This time we're going to bend our elbows halfway. Inhale, straighten your arms. Press into the tops of your feet. Sink your hips. Shine your heart forward. Upward facing dog. Now you want to squeeze your shoulder blades behind you and move them away from your ears as your heart presses forward. Now using your core, you're going to lift your hips up and back, coming to your downward facing dog. 2 cleansing breaths here, in through the nose and out of the mouth. So that is our second vinyasa variation where the knees drop and you bend the elbows halfway. I'm going to show you the last vinyasa variation that you can do, and you can choose which one you'd like to go for the remainder of our time, or you can alternate between them. So on the next inhale, pull forward, high plank. Take a breath in. This time we'll just lower down like a push-up, bend the arms halfway, lower down halfway. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet, straight arms, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. All right, starting to build some heat to here. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale and let it go. Let the head drop, another breath like that. Exhale, let it go. Take one more breath in. This time, exhale, drop the knees. We're gonna take that child's pose. Bring the forehead down onto the mat and reconnect with your breathing. Take those breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Really nice work. One more inhale. And as you exhale, walk your hands towards the right side. So maybe even off of your mat a little bit and feel this stretch in the left side of your body. Keep pressing your hips back as you stretch the hands up and over towards the right. Take another breath here. And then we're going to exhale, walk the hands back center. And using your next breath, we're going to take them to the left side of the mat. Keep pressing your hips back as you inhale and create some space in the right side. Nice work. One more breath on this right side. Keep pressing your hips back. And then walk your hands back center. Inhale, come into your tabletop pose and use the next couple of breaths to meet in downward facing dog. Really nice. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. We're going to start moving here. So inhale that right leg up and back. And instead of thinking about how high you lift your leg, I want you to think about stretching it as far back as you can, stretching through your right heel. And as you exhale, bend your right knee and send your right heel towards your glutes. And we're going to draw some circles here with the right knee, kind of opening up our hips. You can draw big circles, you can draw small circles, whatever you want to do. One more breath here. And then extend that right leg long. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to plant our right foot in between our hands or in the middle of the mat, and then you can work its way up. You want it to be somewhere close towards the top of your mat. Drop that left knee down onto the mat and press the top of the left foot. Now, if this feels uncomfortable, if your knee feels really sensitive, you can pull the side of your mat and cushion it underneath, or you can grab a pillow to place your knee on, or you can press into the top of your left foot to take some of the pressure off of your left knee. We're going to inhale and bring our hands up overhead. So this is, I forget, this is a type of Anjaneyasana, that's what it is. Inhale, stretch your fingers up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your thighs together in this pose. Nice, and see if you can lift your hips as you sink into your right knee. And as you exhale, you're going to T-twist towards the right. So send your right hand behind you, your left foot, or your left hand in front of you. One more breath here. Inhale, I've got a visitor on my mat. Stretch the hands up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, come on back down, bring the hands down onto the mat. Inhale and send your hips back behind you. We're going to straighten this right leg, coming into a half split. Nice. You can flex the toes towards your face, or you can keep them down onto the mat, whatever one feels better for you. If this is really intense on the leg, give a micro bend in your knee. Keep your back straight. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, go ahead and forward fold over your leg. Bring the forehead down towards the shin or towards the knee. One more breath here. Again, feel free to put a bend in this right knee if this keeping the leg straight is too intense. Inhale, bend into the right knee, tuck your left toes, and come into a low lunge. Keeping your left hand planted down, inhale, stretch the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, low lunge twist. One more breath here, you got it. And then exhale, right hand comes back down. We're gonna shift our weight to the right foot. Pick up the left foot, and then bend the left knee, plant the left foot next to the right. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, and forward fold. Good. We're coming into a chair pose next, y'all. So either keep your feet hips width distance apart, or you can heel toe them together, bringing your big toes to touch and a little space in between your heels. Whatever feels better for you is what you do. On your next breath, we're going to bend the knees, send the hips back behind us, and then sweep the hands up overhead like we're sitting in a chair. Lift your heart up, bring your gaze up towards the ceiling where the wall meets the ceiling. Nice. What can we let go of in this pose? When you start to feel the legs start to do their thing, what does that mean for you? Do you stay or do you forward fold? There's something that we can learn from this and let go. I don't know what it is for you. There's something we can let go. Take one more breath here. You got it. Exhale, forward fold. Nice. You straighten the legs or leave them bent. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down to the mat. Step back, find your high plank pose. And now we're going to take our vinyasa, whichever one you choose. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower down. The knees can come down or they can stay up. You can go all the way down or halfway. Inhale for your baby cobra or for your upward facing dog. And then exhale, send the hips up and back, down dog. Got it. Use your breath here and find something to let go of. It can just be the breath, literally, or it can be a symbol of something. It can be an old thought, habit, somebody you need to let go. Whatever it is, so let that go this next day. Left leg lifts up and back on your next breath. And then bend that left knee. Send your left foot by your glutes. And then we'll draw some circles with the left knee here, opening up our hip crease, creating that ball and joint, ball and socket. Inhale and straighten the left leg. Exhale, place the left foot in between your hands or somewhere on the mat and work its way towards the top. Right knee comes down onto the mat. Press the top of the foot in. Again, you can pull the mat, yoga mat to cushion underneath, or just press into the top of your right foot here. Inhale your hands up, Anjali Asana. Squeeze your thighs together, lift the hips and bend into the left knee. And on the next exhale, we're going to T-twist towards the left. Right hand goes forward, left hand goes back. One more breath here. Inhale, both hands come center. Exhale, bring the hands down, frame your left foot. Inhale, send your hips back behind you. Left leg stretches long, half split. Ardha Hanuman, flex the toes towards the face or keep the toes down. If you need that micro bend in the knee to relieve some of the pressure, then do that. Keep your back straight here for now. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold over the leg. Bring the forehead down towards your shin or towards your knee. Take a moment to pause. Recollect. Inhale, bend into the left knee. Tuck your right toes. Lift your right knee up. Right hand stays down. Inhale, left hand goes up towards the ceiling. Roll and twist. And then exhale, left hand comes down. Shift into your left foot. Lift the right foot up. Bend the right knee and place the right foot down next to the left. Find your footing here, either hips width distance or close. Big toes touch. Bend your hips back behind you. Bend the knees. Sweep the hands up. Utkatasana or chair pose. This time I want you to lift your toes off of the mat. Bring the weight in the balls of your feet and your heels. Take one more breath, and then we'll bring the toes down. Inhale and lift the heels up off the mat. Come onto your tippy toes. One more breath, and then exhale, forward fold. Heels come down. Did it. Nice work. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down. Step back. We're taking our next vinyasa here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really nice. Let's stay here for a few breaths. Options to come down to child's pose and recollect here. Bring the forehead down. You can keep stretching the hands forward in your child's pose, or you can bring the hands back behind you towards your heels. Let the forehead still rest on the mat. Let the shoulders relax. And if you make it to this child's pose with the hands by the heels, and you realize you don't like that one, you can just bring the hands back up. Because you always have options. Ground yourself here in the next few breaths. In the next few breaths, make your way to your downward facing dog. You can pedal through your feet, lifting the heels up and bringing them back down. And get ready to move. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it in between your hands. This time we're going to go to
Warrior two. So we're gonna drop that left heel down onto the mat. And then look at your feet. You want your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. And you're gonna press into the pinky side of your left foot and keep bending into your right knee. Inhale both of your hands up, extend your right arm forward and your left arm back, coming into this warrior two. Really nice. Again, press into the left side of your left foot and see if there's any more space for you to bend into your right knee. If you need to do what I just did and straighten this front leg first and then rebend, feel free to do that. If you feel your knee coming over your toes or towards your toes, bring it back. You don't want it to go any further than your ankle. Inhale, bring the shoulders up by the ears. Exhale, relax them down. Yeah, good. Keep stretching the fingers forward and back. On your next inhale, flip your right palm up towards the ceiling. Reach forward and then exhale and send it up and back, reverse warrior. Option to stay directly kind of up and down with the bicep right next to you right here, or you can continue to bend, doing that stretch on the right side. Your left hand can come down the left leg, or you can hook it behind you at your hip. One more breath here. Keep bending into the right knee. And then exhale, find your warrior two once more. Y'all got it? Good. Take another breath. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, come back into your low lunge, come to the toes on your left foot. Option here, step back, take your vinyasa, or skip it and meet in downward facing dog. You choose, we're here for 3 breaths either way. I'm skipping it, y'all can take it though. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let the breath go. Inhale through the nose. Call in something that you want to feel, something that you want more of in this practice. Exhale, something you want to let go. Left leg lifts up and back. Exhale, step the left foot in between your hands. Warrior two on this side. Drop your right heel down. Make sure this left heel intersects the arch of your right foot. Inhale, swing the arms up. Left hand goes forward, right hand goes back. Again, check your feet. You need to extend this leg long, this left leg, do that, and rebend into it. Press into the pinky of your right foot, pinky side of your right foot, and then see if there's any more bend or if we need to back up off of this left knee. If you want to open up this left hip crease, you can point your knee towards your left pinky toe and see what that does. And if you get there and you don't want that, then bring the knee back center. Keep extending the arms. Inhale, bring them up towards your ears. Exhale, lower them down. On your next inhale, flip the left palm up towards the ceiling. Reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Bicep comes up by the left ear, and then you can extend back. Keep it into the left knee. Stretch those fingertips towards or behind you. One more breath. And then exhale, come down. Warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Come onto the right toes. Pivot there. Take your vinyasa or skip it and step back to your downward facing dog. Really good, y'all. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. We're gonna rise to our toes. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Lift your hands all the way up, rise all the way up here. And then exhale, bring your hands down beside you. This is standing mountain pose or Tadasana pose. Bring your palms forward. Take a moment to breathe. Let yourself reconnect with your breath. Go ahead, you can drop that for a moment, shake it out. If you want to take a lap around your mat, release some of the work that you just done. Do that. And then find yourself here. We're going to go into some balancing poses. So bring your feet hips width distance apart. Lift your toes up off of the mat. Spread them wide and then bring them back down. Come onto your tippy toes. And then bring your heels back down. Just distributing the weight here in between our feet. We're going to start. We're going into tree pose. So we're going to inhale, shift your weight into your left leg. And then we're going to inhale, lift your right knee up towards your chest. And you can decide here, we're going to reach for the right foot. You can either place it on your upper thigh, you can place it on your calf muscle, or you can place it here by your ankle. Every option is perfect. There's not one that's better than the other. It's whatever one is right for you today. If you're going to press your foot into your leg and your leg back into your foot, just skip over your knee because you don't want to take your knee out. Press your leg into your foot into your leg. And now I want you to look at something in front of you that's not moving. So don't look at me. Look at something in front of you that you can set your focus on. We call this our drishti, or focal point. You can bring your hands to your hips. You can bring your hands to your heart center. So press your leg into your foot into your leg. Use your core here. Bring that belly button back to your spine to activate your balance, or to support your balance by activating your core. And then you can either keep your hands where they are, or maybe you roll your branches up over your head. Maybe you stay still and planted and serious, or maybe you see how much you can move before you fall out of this pose. Maybe you dance to the music a little bit. Make this your own. This is personal. Let something go. Maybe it's perfectionism. That's me. I want to be still and play all the time. So I'm going to let something go here. And we're going to stay for one more breath. Inhale, bring your knee up towards your chest, and exhale, bring that right foot back down. You can take a lap around your mat. You can shake the legs out, whatever feels good for you. We're going to get ready to do this on the other side. You guessed it. So whenever you're ready, come back to your stillness. Bring your feet hips width distance apart. Shift the weight into your right foot or right leg. Inhale, bring the left knee up towards the chest. Reach for your foot. Place it either upper thigh, calf muscle, or your ankle. And notice if this side feels different than the other side. It is very common for that to be the case. You can bring your hands here to your hips. Shine your heart forward. You can bring your hands to your the center of your chest, or you can bring your hands up overhead here. Maybe you do the exact same thing on the other side, or maybe you do something very different. Find something that you can let go of, even now. Find your drishti, that one in front of you that does not move. We're here for 3 more breaths. On this next breath, inhale, bring the left knee up towards the chest. Exhale, place it back down. Shake the legs out. Walk around your mat. Take a sit if you need a sit. And then come on back here. Bring your feet hips width distance apart. Inhale, hands go up overhead. Palms come together to touch. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your palms to your heart center. We're going to start to bend the knees, and we're going to work our way all the way down to a yogi squat or malasana pose. It is perfectly fine if those heels end up involuntarily popping up. That is fine. We're going to bring our hands back to our heart center here. You've got 2 options. You can rest your elbows on top of the knees, or if you want a greater stretch, you can bring your elbows inside of your knees and use them to press the hips open a little bit more. We're here for 2 breaths. And on the next breath, we're going to bring our left hand down onto the mat. We're going to extend this right hand up towards the ceiling. Take a twist, 1 breath. Don't worry, you got it. Exhale, hands come back center. And of course, we've got to do this on the other side. So bring that right hand down to the mat. Inhale, extend the left hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come on back. And now we're going to bring our hands down onto the mat. Come onto your tippy toes. We're going to step back, find your high plank pose. This is going to be our last vinyasa today. Actually, we're not even going to take a vinyasa. Straighten your arms here. We're going to lower down to our bellies in a 5 count. So inhale through the nose. Exhale, lower down for 4, 3, 2, And 1. Come on down, belly shavasana. Extend your hands long behind you and just lay flat. Reconnect with your breath here. You can bring your forehead to the mat or you can bring one of your cheeks. Reconnect to your breath. Find calmness in your body. Maybe there's something that you want to let go of. Maybe it is an expectation that you have of yourself, or how you're performing. Maybe you're judging yourself as you practice. Maybe you need to let that go. Take a moment. We're going into a locust pose next. I'm going to talk you through it as you lay here. So just lay for a little bit longer. I'll walk you through it. You want to look at me, I can model for you, but you just lay for this time. This is me demonstrating first. You catch up with your breath. We're going to either extend our hands long towards our feet. You can also bring your hands in front of you if you like. When you inhale, you'll press your hips into the mat, and then you're going to lift the feet and the hands wherever they are, either in front of you or behind you. And we're going to rise up. We're holding it, and then we'll come back down. Yeah? So now it is your turn. Choose where you would like your hands to go. Either keep them pointed behind you or bring them in front of you like a superhero. On your next inhale, we're going to press our hips into the mat. Lift the feet, lift the hands up, and see how high you can go. Inhale here, breathe deeply. Look over the top of your mat so that your neck stretches nice and long. And then exhale. One more breath. Inhale, see if you can get any higher. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful work. You can bring that same cheek or opposite to the mat. We're going to take this one more time. You can keep your hands where they are. You can alternate, or you can interlace your fingers over your sacrum or your lower back. And use your bound hands to stretch towards your feet. Choose your arm positions one last time. Inhale, press the hips in, rise up, lift up. Look over the top of your mat so your neck is nice and long. Take another breath in, rise any higher. And exhale, lower down. Let the hands go. You can bend your knees and windshield wiper them side to side to let some of that go from your lower back. And in your next 2 or 3 breaths, you're just going to roll your way over, make your way onto your back. Don't worry, my friends, we are coming. Cool down. You're almost done. And I want you to press into your heels just a bit. Tuck your tailbone under so as much of your back is pressed into the mat as possible. From the top of your thoracic spine to your lumbar spine, your lower back. Try to get as much of that back onto the mat as possible. To realign and to straighten. We're going to do a little bit of core work and start our cool down. Bring your hands behind your head. Inhale, bring your knees towards your chest. Let your feet kind of dangle in the air. On your inhale, you're going to send your right elbow to your left knee and extend your right leg long. Exhale, come back. Inhale, left elbow to right knee. Extend that left leg long. Good. Exhale, come on back. We're going to keep going for about 8 more times. On your own breath, inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. Good job. You got it, keep going. Find something to let go of, even now, as we work our core. Last 2. Good. Bring your heels down onto the mat. Push your wiper your knees side to side and let some of that go. And now our cool down. You remove your hands from behind your head. Cross your right foot over your right ankle, over your left knee. We're going to from that left knee up just a little bit more. Really nice work. And then you're going to bring your right hand behind your left thigh. Interlace your fingers. And as you exhale, you begin to bring your left leg is towards your chest, your right heel. Be really gentle with yourself here as you bring your knees towards your chest. Whenever you feel resistance, go ahead and send your breath here to see this.
Man up, say you'll have my back. You might get a snack.
Be here for
Respect, read it, that's a fact.
flex both of your feet. One more breath. Then you can let this configuration go. Stand both of your feet up towards the ceiling like you walk on the ceiling. You can roll through your ankles here. Maybe shake your legs a little bit. And on your next exhale, we're going to bend to the other side. So left ankle to right knee. Bring your hands in between your left hand in between your legs. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. And begin to bring this right knee in towards your chest. Feeling this really great stretch and outside of the hip. And again, using your breath to support you in this pose. One more breath. And then go ahead and release this configuration. Send your feet up towards the roof. Make those circles with your ankles. Go ahead and bring your feet down onto the mat. Your knees are still up. On your next exhale, we'll drop the knees towards the right side. So you're going to come onto the pinky side of your right foot and the big toe side of your left. And then you're going to take your right foot and stack it on top of your left knee. And that right foot's going to help weigh both of your knees down. Bring your upper body or your shoulder blades onto the mat and extend both arms long. Take a supine twist here. One more breath. And then exhale, bring both feet down onto the mat. Point your knees up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, drop the knees towards the left side. Come onto the big toe side of your right foot and the pinky side of your left. And then you're going to take your left foot, place it on top of your right knee. Keep the upper body where it is. Keep pressing your shoulder blades into the mat. Supine twist to the left side. And then inhale, bring both feet back down onto the mat. Knees point up towards the ceiling, and then we'll inhale those knees up towards your chest. Reach for the blade edges of both feet. Take a happy baby pose. You can stay still here with the knees stretched wide. You can rock side to side here, kind of massaging the lower back. You can extend one leg long and bend the other. But take what you need in this happy baby pose. And you can stay here as long as you'd like, or you can prepare for our final pose, our final Shavasana today. Extending both legs long towards the bottom of your mat. Your hands can either be palms up or palms down alongside you, or maybe you bring one palm to your heart and one palm to your belly. But take whatever option feels best for you and your body, and we'll stay in this Shavasana for about a minute or so. But let your body relax and just be. Come back into your breath. Just let yourself go. For the last time, we'll think of something that we can let go of so that we can be free. And then let yourself be free here. start to fade the music away so that we can become fully present with ourselves and our thoughts. And with your next inhale, go ahead and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, staying exactly where you are. Introducing movements back into your body. You can extend your hands long over your head, taking a nice good morning stretch. And using as little energy as possible, begin to make your way onto your right side. And you can stay on this right side for as long as you like. Maybe this is where you end your class or your time today. Or using your next couple of breaths, taking your time, no rush at all, honoring both the work that we've done and the rest that we just had. Begin to press your way up and find your comfortable seat. And keep the eyes closed here. And then inhale, bring your palms up overhead, together to touch. And exhale, bring your palms down to your heart center. Press the base of your thumbs into your chest and your chest back into your thumbs until you can feel your heartbeat underneath your hands. And allow your heartbeat to bring you comfort, to bring you peace. Allow it to remind you of your purpose. Tuck your chin towards your chest and bow your head to yourself for showing up for your practice today, for prioritizing your health and your wellness. We bow our heads towards each other and this practice of yoga that's brought us here together today. And finally, I bow my head to each one of you. Thank you for allowing me to guide you in practice. Thank you for trusting me with this time. And for the last time, we'll close with, when I put down what is not mine to carry, I'm free. We'll close our class today with amen, ashe, and namaste. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Take your time. Take a sip of water, roll the shoulders, whatever it is that you need to do. So if you have taken a class with me before, this is the portion where we kind of reset and we go into our happy hour conversation. So take a moment. If you need to grab your beverage of choice, whatever it is for you, feel free to do that. I'm going to have some folks join me for this happy hour. It's the first time I've streamed a happy hour, so I'm quite excited about it. And I don't exactly know who's going to be here. So whenever you're ready, brother, you can bring whoever is willing to come. We're going to start our happy hour portion. I love to cheers. Oh, great. I've got 3 people. Come on. I love to cheers for the week and then just have a little bit of conversation, a little family time. So welcome. Excited. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. This was needed. Thank you so much.
Good. So I have Tim. Hey, Zaire.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. I'm stretched out.
Great. I'm so glad to see you. Yeah. Where are you streaming from?
Me?
Yeah.
My house. I'm in Memphis.
Memphis. Okay. Memphis. Tim, you are in California?
I'm in California. Yep.
Great. And then James, yes?
Yeah, James.
Welcome. James, where are you streaming from?
I'm in Brooklyn.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm in Harlem. I don't know if I did that at the start. I'm in Harlem.
Yeah, I just live in Harlem.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is great. So every class, we hold space, we have some conversations, we talk about the practice, and then sometimes we have some themed conversations, and sometimes we don't. But we always start with a virtual toast. So I have a little wine glass right next to me. And if you all are here with us, let me see so I can see these comments. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you for joining class. If you all are streaming and you want to chat and participate in the conversation, drop it in the comments. We can all see. But what y'all sipping on? I have a little white wine, a little Sauvignon Blanc. Tim, what you got? Look like something strong.
It's tequila.
Yep.
Tequila.
I'm drinking water. I'm
beautiful.
I had one before, so I'm good right now. I may roll up in a second.
Yeah, I need to be drinking some water too, but this is what we have. So we don't believe in bad luck. So y'all can cheers with your water cups. If you are streaming at home, raise your glass. Anything y'all want to cheers to? Any good things happening this week for you?
This session.
Let it go first.
I said this session. I want to cheers to this.
Okay, to the session. James, you had something?
Yeah, the ability to still be able to do what I want and what I need to do.
Man, let's all cheers to that, to the session, be able to do what you want, to the week. Cheers. And cheers to y'all at home for joining in. So I have a few questions prepared, but so yoga is something that I started doing because I really needed a release from work and I needed something to help me kind of process what was going on in my world. And then it turned into something that was like really essential for me. And during quarantine, holding space for people and for myself on the mat has been like critical for my own kind of wellness and just day to day making it through processing everything that's happened since I don't even remember since February, I guess. So I want to hear from you all. What is your thing? What's your thing that's been helping you during quarantine to process? And it can go in any order. I can call names or you can just chime in.
I'll go. I've been taking a lot of hikes and walks and trying to become one with nature since I can't be one with people without the digital sphere. And so that's sort of been refreshing as I reground myself with nature and being present and trying to remain present in a lot of difficult situations that we are all incurring, in our natural and daily lives. We turn on our feed and we see nothing but trauma and hopefully positive messages, but it's a lot of mixture out there. And, I've been very mindful about what I consume, right? And what that may cost me as I continue to navigate throughout the day or the week. And so being in nature allows me to consume, I think, some good richness that the Lord has made. And so I've been enjoying that. Yep.
Thank you. How about y'all?
I guess for me, what have I really been doing? I think some time ago I kind of just decided to not have. I think for some time there was a time where people were saying that you should learn something new, read something new, do something new, And for a while, I felt forced to do stuff, to be creative because I'm a creative, and I felt like I had to do something every single day. For me, so lately it's been just moving and being happy and enjoying the moment and not setting heavy expectations for myself based off of this pandemic that we're going through. So just moving and enjoying life really and just breathing and taking every day for what it is.
Yeah, I think that's essential. I saw something earlier and have had several conversations with folks, and I think it was a meme that I saw that was like, "This is a pandemic, not a productivity contest." Especially those memes that were like, if you don't come out of quarantine with a new trade or a new business or a new whatever, like you did it wrong. It's like, no, we actually are just surviving in here. we actually doing the best I can. I think that's really resonant with me too. Yeah, just kind of tapping into those things that just kind of bring you life is so important.
I would say I did pick up more. I did start doing more meditation and more yoga when Tim sent me this. I was excited about it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hop on and get a little sweat in because it's about time. It's time.
Yeah, good. Nair, how about you?
For sure. Honestly, I've been just trying to take it day by day in a sense. Like I just feel like since the pandemic, nothing I guess in my life because I work remotely and a lot of my things are remote, it hasn't necessarily pushed me in a direction that now I'm trying to be more intentional about like, okay, what is my morning routine? What is my night routine? What type of person the highest I mean, not the highest, my best self. Like, what would she do in the morning? What would she do at night? So I just feel like in these last months, I've been in such transition as far as like being a full-time creative and this and that and moving and all of that. So I haven't really had time to create a routine. And so when you said in the session, like, what are some things that you want to let go? And I was just in my mind like, yo, the kind of haphazardness that goes on with moving and trying to like figure out a routine. So hearing what you all are saying is just like, okay, these are some things that I can take on for myself while I'm trying to figure out this morning and night routine, which I feel should help me, be my best self. So y'all are helping me kind of come to terms with now a more kind of like, I guess, paced life because these last few months have been like go, 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 go.
I love that. And thank you for sharing. Morning, routines and our practice can definitely be the thing that like grounds us and like you said, helps us to be our best selves and the things that we can like count on when we can't count on like the stability of the world. So I love all of that. And I'm gonna kind of toot your horn for a moment, Zaire, because you talked about like being a creative and like a lot of things being in transition. Y'all don't know, I went to college with Tim and Zaire, Morehouse and Spelman. But you recently had some big news, Zaire, a big milestone that I would love if you feel comfortable sharing. You could also just pass real quick, but I would love if you could share and let the people know what's been going on.
Ooh, child, should I tell my testimony? I might have to take you out of church.
You don't have to be humble either. You can let the people know what you've been. What's been going on.
I'm gonna say, I will say that in 2020, I knew coming in. I know people were just like, 2020 is the start of a new decade. Let's go, let's get it, blah, 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 blah. And I knew in my heart that 2020, like, God was just like, 2020 is gonna be hard. Not hard as in like pandemic. I didn't think pandemic. I just knew that it was going to be a year where I would have to step out on faith, and I would have to really believe, and I would really have to bet on myself and really take what God told me to heart and like move on it. Like that was the difficulty. That was going to be the hard part. And child, I bet on myself. And I got a residency that only accepted like 7% of the people who applied, and I later learned it was like thousands who like hundreds to thousands of people who applied. And I was just like, look on me. Okay, let's go. I graduated from my MFA program. I got a screenwriting fellowship here in Memphis. I got a couple grants from the Southern Documentary Fund and Indie Memphis, and just a lot of things have been happening. I've been able to get paid gigs as a filmmaker, as a documentary filmmaker, and do that, and now doing that full time. And yeah, it's just a blessing because that would or that could happen for me. I know that sometimes people look in and like, girl, I'm not surprised, but as creators and as people who have to make our mark in a way that does not have steps, it is difficult.
Yeah.
And it is like, because you don't really have a blueprint, and people around you want to help, but it's not really something that they can be like, oh, you do this. It's just like, okay, good job. Keep going. So you have to have this extra level of like, let's get it, let's do it. So that's been happening in 2020. But most of all, what's happening in 2020 for me, and what this session has really been, is just like, Zaire, in addition to this new way of life that you're living, you have to really focus on Zaire. You have to really focus on Zaire, because this vessel is what creates and comes up with these ideas and able to like manifest these physical things. So you got to be good to her. So how are you going to be good to her? And so I thank you, Eric, and I thank you, Tim, too, for inviting me, so that I could really begin to like feel it in my body,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing all that, and congratulations again. I totally get that. Especially there were several days, weeks even during the pandemic, where I was just low, as my grandmother would say, like just low, and I didn't have motivation, didn't have a lot of things. And I realized like there were classes I had to cancel because I'm like, I can't hold space for y'all today, for anybody else. I'm barely like holding space for me. And I found so much kind of liberation in that, in knowing like you said, Zaire, I got to take care of myself before I can try to take care of anybody else. And I think that is for sure one of the takeaways that I have. Like, we can do all of these things and we can be so many things for other people, but we really have to be our best selves for ourselves first, and do whatever that means for us in that moment, as hard as that may be, or as as big of a decision that might be. We got to be able to do it. So congrats to you for that awareness, and for all of the 2020 comings and goings. And we're definitely proud of you and happy that you're here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Tim?
Hey, what's going on?
Your turn.
My turn. So what 2020 taught me, that was the question? I want to make sure I answer.
Sure. I think that was the question.
I mean, I think I kind of said a lot of it earlier, but I think what it has, I've been low a lot too. Isolation is not my best suit, although I enjoy being by myself. But I think when it's forced upon you, it's a different type of energy that is there. And so I've been navigating being in a PhD program, first year, going, and doing a lot of this whole pandemic work, alongside academic work, alongside civil unrest and racial work. And so it's been a lot on my plate trying to make sure that I show up present for everything that I need to be present for. But again, it is, I've been taking, a page out of Eric's book of like, I can't help everybody, right? Like some days I just need to shut down, put the phone away in a cabinet and like work on me and meditate and think about sort of what I've consumed, what has it cost me, what am I going to continue to do, how do I continue to be the better, best version of Tim, what do I want to work on, what are my most prized moments that I am sort of relishing in as I navigate through this pandemic alongside my brothers and sisters. How do I stay on top of my academic game? How do I, stay close with friends and family? How do I not get so fatigued through screen culture and what this looks like and means in various iterations? Because now it's Zoom this, text this, call this. Everybody wants a part, right? And not understanding like everybody's not there or has the energy or capacity every day to give as much as people think that they should be receiving from someone. And so I try to reiterate to at least my friends and family, like that's not going to happen, right? Like I'm the person, I put the phone away, I go on long walks. I'm not interested in having digital conversations sometimes because it is draining and it is distant loving, right? And to some extent, I would rather really choose that versus it being forced upon me. And so I've been sort of navigating how to make amends with some of those relationships and some of those activities that I prized myself on prior to this pandemic happening. But really, it's just been self-reflection this whole entire year about, really thinking about the levels of consumption that I have for media, of trauma, of other people's energy, and try to refocus that and reimagine that in a way that keeps me whole, right? Because I was listening to some talk, and you guys probably remember this. This happened a couple of years ago, but she was like, my cup runneth over. What comes out the cup is for y'all. What's in the cup is for me. But sometimes your cup runneth over, it comes empty. And then you're wondering, where else do I draw energy, inspiration, love, comfort, space, time, forgiveness, and sometimes you can't because you've given it all away. And so I've been really learning how to keep my cup full, and whatever comes out is for the rest of the world or the rest of the people that want to be engaged with me. But I need to be safe. I need to be full so that I can navigate successfully this pandemic and this civil unrest as we continue to have these conversations that are hard and difficult, and continue to do these protests and actions and holding people accountable. All of that takes a lot of energy and work, and usually falls on people that look like me, right? Brown, Black, Latino X, all of these individuals sort of fighting the good fight. But it's tiring, it's exhausting to wake up to continue to see certain things still happening, still going on, when that we can be better as a race, we can be better as a people, we can be better as humanity. And it's a lot to shoulder, right? We thought our ancestors did the work. And they did do the work, but we're continuing to do this work, which is very.
It's just so much work. It's just so much work. Who is so much work? Yeah, I think I hear all of that, and you hit on something really important. I think especially, and I will assume that we are all similar in that we are oftentimes. People often experience like our abundance, right? The cup running over and gives to other people. And like we often have to be very conscious and aware of like how our cup gets filled. And sometimes it is like I'll speak for myself. Sometimes I'm looking for somebody to fill my cup too. Like who gonna fill me up? Because I have practiced and learning how to continue to like give to myself and feel my, my self-care, my practice, my this, my that. But sometimes I don't want to give that up, even if it's flowing. Like I don't want to share it. Even if it's something to share, I want to keep it for me too, because I don't know when I'm going to get this again. And it costs a lot for me to give it to myself, even though that's what I want. So I hear you loud and clear, because that's where I am now. It's like I worked really hard for this that I have, and I don't want to just let you have my abundance. I want to actually bottle that abundance and save it for later, because I'm gonna need it. Because I don't know where I'm gonna get it from again, or I have to. It costs me a lot to make this peace and this happiness and this excess. So I'm actually gonna save that y'all can't have all this. I'm gonna ask one more question and then we can wrap up. Tim, you've talked to the trauma and all of the unrest. Zaire, you've talked to all of the like unpredictable things that have happened this year. What is, and I ask this question in a lot of my classes, but like, what is your hope? What are your hopes and dreams? Or what is it that you wish for us? And the us can be the three of us. The us can be anyone who is present. The us can be Black folks. The us can be the world. What do you wish for us?
I would say, in general, and so I'm a big component of therapy, right? And I think there are a lot of souls that are not healed, right? And when I mean us, I'm talking about everybody got something that they need to work through, haven't worked through, put in the black closet, close the door, never want to remember, all of those things, but they creep back up in our lives later on. And so as I think about the power of healing and what healing can do. And I don't know if that's therapy. I don't know if that's an art project or even yoga, right? Decompressing and being able to sort of be one with your body. Taking the time, right, out that you share your time with everything else, whether it's Netflix, drinking, hang with your friends, showing up on Zoom for school, whatever the case may be. But what time are you giving yourself to really think about your healing process and what that looks like and what that means for you and what you may need to do in order to receive and get healing and be and flourishing that, because I'm seeing a lot of brokenness as I turn on my phone, as I speak to family members, as I speak to friends. There's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of brokenness, and some of us are strong in broken places, and we've learned to covet that and make that our thing, right? And that's and that can be a positive or a negative how you look at it, but it is, I think, what I do hope and wish, I think overall, is healing for us. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I would have to say ditto with what Tim said, like healing. And in that healing as well, the confidence to be who we are unapologetically, and not from a performative place, but from a real place. We say, I'm unapologetically this or I'm unapologetically that, but sometimes I can feel that it's a performative unapologetic. It's not always from a genuine or like I really am unapologetically Black, unapologetically Southern, unapologetically whatever. And so for me in that healing, like I wish for us to truly be unapologetic about who we are, who we truly are, not only as a race, but as individual folk as well. Finding that and being unapologetic about it.
Yeah, and I'm assuming your us is us as Black folks.
Us as Black folk.
Yeah, that's good. I think my hopes and dreams for us, and my us, I think I'm gonna name as people, and kind of specifically white people. I usually answer this question very differently, but today this is what's resonated with me. I think I have experienced, I'm in a growth journey myself where I see so many like well-meaning white folks who want to do better and want to be on the right side of history at this moment. And then I see so many also well-meaning white folks who are still unclear about or still like blind to the impact of discrimination and racism as it stands today. And it is a very difficult journey. And like many other people of color, I've been privileged to also help do some like diversity and equity work now. And it's not something that I take really lightly, but it's also been very, just very interesting, a very interesting journey. So I think my hope for us, all that to say, my hope for us and my hope for white folks is that we can truly, everyone can like find healing through truth, right? Like everyone can be real. I hope that everyone can be real and truthful, and kind of let go of the ego self that is what kind of holds us back, and the kind of like allegiances and solidarities that we have to institutions and belief systems, so that everyone can truly advance and can truly have like, you know, equality and the things that our nation was founded upon. So that we can actually see that in real life in our generation and in our lifetime, and we can be the ones to like talk about this time in our history moving forward as like real history, right? Like this is how things were back then, and it can be so distant from the future, I guess. So in a sense, I wish for healing as well. But through just truth, like I would just wish everybody could be honest about what it is and what it ain't. So thank you for joining in this conversation. Thanks for joining in the practice in this Wind Down Wednesday. This is what each Wind Down Wednesday class is like that I host on Wednesdays through Black Mat. If you all want to share your social handles, if you want people to follow you, we can put them on the screen. Mine is here, black.mat.yoga, and the website is the same, blackmat.yoga. You can sign up for classes there. There's blogs. There's all my info. Zaire is doing great work creatively and lifting up Black voices. Tim is doing great work in his PhD program and lifting up our stories and in academia. So thank you all again for joining. Okay, Zaire's stuff is there, beautiful. And thank you to Haitian American Caucus for letting me use this platform and do this class. This was great. And thank you all for joining in who streamed elsewhere. This was great. That's all I got. Y'all got any closing thoughts? Anything else?
Thank you so much. I truly enjoyed this.
Yay. Well, good. Me too. Thanks, Tim. Thank you, everybody. I think this is it. So follow us. Let's keep these conversations going. And yeah, y'all take care. Be well. Bye.